Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. The first video in a game that I'm talking not Dutch anymore. That's very weird. It's really weird. And I was doubtful at first, but now, well, I have many confidence that I'm just going to do it great as I always did. Except for the first NCS review I ever did. Today we are with the first snapshot of a new sort of cycle of snapshots, so that's why I find it a very proper time to convert into English. It's the snapshot 24w33a for 1.21.1, and it's a big one. It's a really big one. There are a lot of things to talk about, and maybe things I just forget to talk about because there are a lot of stuff. And I find the article a little bit all over the place and not so, clear for what's new. In the past it was a little bit better, but sure. What I do like about it is that Minecraft.net finally has a dark mode. Finally, after, well, a load of years. But before we start, we will have to take a look at the experiments. You all maybe knew about the villager trait rebalance, a sort of data pack you can turn on right here to improve and see what Mojang did for those changes that are experimental. The bundle was also there and the 1.21 features were there also for a while, but now two others are here. Of course a bundle, and we are gonna talk about that first soon, but also minecart improvements and redstone experiments. So let's just take a look first at bundles and then to the rest. And if you have that enabled, one of those four, your world has been set into an experimental mode, so that it's very clear to see which world that has that feature on. But let's just start with the first new thing. And I think many of you will be happy that it's finally here. It's the bundle. The bundle has a reworked system now. It's finally maybe fixed, and I hope you can use it very soon in 1.21 still. So in 1.21.1 for example. This is now the texture. It's a little bit different from last time. Can't really tell it, but also I do. Also it has a nice text under. Can hold a mixed stack of items. So it's very clear what it can do. And there's a beautiful bar that says empty. Well, let's just see how you first craft it. First it was 5 rabbit hide or even 7 with 1 string, so that was really expensive. But now if we search for bundle, it is only 1 string and 1 letter. So let's just make a bunch. For example, we will make a multiple. Do they stack? Well, yeah, sort of. I can make a bunch and they are in each other now. But there are, well, how many bundles in one bundle? There are 16 bundles, so a quarter of a stack? Yeah, it's a quarter of a stack. Also nice that the first few are blue, what you're putting in there. So, well, you can do it like this. You need to put the bundle in your mouse and then you can click. No? We have one bundle right here. To pick it up, you use, of course, your left click button. But to add things, you also need to click left click button. And to empty it, you need to click right click. So that's, well, sort of how you place blocks. Because you place blocks in the world with your right click. And you remove them by left click. Just as here, you place blocks or items in your inventory by right click. But you remove them by left click. So that's a little bit of a easy thing to remember it. But you can also add a bundle in it and other stuff. Can you add a full bundle? No, then you have that sound. Interesting. Well, we can add this. We can add all loads of stuff. And I think it's all counted up until 1 stack. But here it says, well, 6 bread, 5 iron, and so on and so forth, plus 12. Plus 12 what? So that's a little bit confusing. I can add, well, a load of new stuff here to make it even more weird to see. So you see not every item that's in there, so that's maybe a little bit of a bummer, but they are still very much better than first when they got added back in 2020? In COVID? Damn. But of course the bundle can hold a stack of items. So 16 ender pearls, it can hold 64 blocks or seeds or whatever, so that's how it works. And well, one sword for example, or one mace. See? It's full. But that was the bundle. But now the redstone features. There's not a lot, just this. I just copied from the site what I saw. It's about randomness for redstone traveling in wire. So it's a little bit hard to explain and a little bit hard to understand maybe, but if you have a lever right here, this lever is closer to this piston than to this piston. So if I turn this lever on, this piston will fire all the time, because this one is closer than this one. But you see the redstone powering, all the redstone wiring is turning on the same time, but still this one is closer to the lever, so this one is firing first. But if you have the lever on the other side, this one will fire, of course. Not that hard to explain. But then you have the one in the middle. It's random. It states here, the screenshot below, this one, shows an example of random versus non-random wire. We think it's actually pretty logical and is within the player's control to build machines that behave wow, that's a really complicated word to pronounce. But we are looking forward to hearing what you think after trying it out. So this is the not random, and also not random. This is random, the middle one. One thing I can explain also is direct redstone wire update, block update. Oh, that's not what I meant. Here you have a redstone line running across a piston and one directly into one. If I power this redstone wire is running into the piston, so this one will update and will just go do some stuff. This one won't. And you had in the past, I think, a feature that if you power it now, the game doesn't think it's updated. But if you have a block update, it would fire. But now redstone wire does that itself. And this is a way that isn't going to be possible to fire a piston, so it won't fire one. Again, I'm not a redstone guy, I'm just a builder guy. I don't understand a thing about this. I just read what's on the site and I try to explain it. But important to note is that Mojang knows this is experimental, so this can, all those two things, can break redstone contraptions. But that's why we are here as a community to say to Mojang what we want and what we don't want. That's the same for new minecart features. Also in that experimental stuff. First, we're gonna take a look at the minecart itself. When you placed it on a rail, it immediately got placed the right way around. So if I stood here, it would place and it would stand right like this. But they added something, I think they added something. If I stand like this, I place on the rail, and you see a little bit of a animation happening. It's bobbing. Oh, that was not my meaning. That's cool, I guess. And here it's rotating. It wasn't really happening before, so that's, I guess, nice. But let's place the minecart and let it ride, because something is added. It has an animation when falling, and also there is no real sound anymore when it's falling. One more time to look at the animation. Here we go. It's leaning a little bit more forward, so it's pretty nice. But also, you don't hear a rail riding minecart sound anymore when it's off rails. It's completely silent. Beautiful. But there's also one thing now in the accessibility settings. Rotate with minecarts is off. If the player's view should rotate with a turning minecart, only available in worlds with the minecart improvements. Experimental settings turned on. Now it's off, so when I am sitting in the minecart and just press, I have completely the free rights to turn my head wherever I want to. But if I turn that on, it will change. So now it's on. Let's sit in the minecart. Now I can just look freely. If we are riding the minecart, you saw my head turning. I don't know why I press escape all the time. But it's, I think, easier to let it demonstrate right here. I was looking. This is very dizzy, so I will step out of the minecart now. But I was sitting like this. And every time the minecart turned, I was turning as well. But when I just look forward, this is a bad example. When I look forward, I am again looking forward every time. It's the way you start looking, you will turn again and again. But now a change that isn't in the experimental stuff, but I want to note it because it's minecart related. You always could place a minecart on a rail with just blocks in between and again place another one. But now I can click however I want, how many times I want. The shadow here below isn't getting darker, and it means there are no more minecarts getting placed. There is just one right here. See, I remove one, there is one. I want to place more, I remove one, but there was still one. Also, dispensers can place one, but not more. You see, it's dropped out of a dispenser like a dropper will do. So it won't place more than just one. But how it can work is like this. Just extend that wall, place a minecart right here, let it ride up, and let it fall down. Now you see the shadow is darker. So let's just fire a couple. The shadow is getting darker and darker for how many minecarts here are in one place. So if I remove one, I remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the only way now you can make that still possible. But there was one thing added as well. I don't really know if it's for the minecart improvements experimental stuff or that it's really in the snapshot itself, but a new game rule. Minecart max speed. It's definitely clear that the minecarts are, well, underrated when the elytra was added, when the trident was added, so you can just, when it rains, go full on with the elytra in the overworld. You have both with ice in the nether. Minecarts were underrated and underused. Mojang knows this, so they added this game rule. It's by default on 8, so I just click. It's set to 8, and if we write a minecart, for example right here, it's, well, how it always was. Let's just add 2 more, 10. Now it's a little bit faster. And I like how it bumps into the first minecart and just not really interact with it that much. Now add what I wanted to do, 10 more, so it's 20, and see what happens now. It's, well, really fast. But the maximum here is 1000. So now it's enabled. Here we go. You see that it's faster, but there is not enough powered rail to accelerate it. That's why I made this circle right here. It's going to be fast. It's going to be very fast! Damn! And you see already that the movement of the minecart is very solid. Previous, when you had a very fast minecart in a circle, it would render the minecart off the rails or in between the rails. So it was really weird to see. Now it's very solid and sticks to the rails. Should we try and enter this minecart? Oh! I like that. Okay. Oh! Now, that's again, I think what I wanted to show. Let's just start back at 8, how it was, and ride this railway. Let's ride it. And it's, well, decent, but not that fast. Let's test this now at the speed we had earlier, 10. We are going to go faster. Not by much, but I think it's very noticeable that we're reaching the end, well, quicker. Let's do it now with 20. And you notice it right away, it's really fast. Let's test it 2 more times with 100 and the maximum of 1000. And then we are going further into the snapshot. Because playing is not what you really want to see, I think. Oh, this is really fast and it was still accelerating. What if you have a minecart track from there to the other side of that mountain? It would be crazy. Wow, okay. Let's do 1000. That's the maximum. Yeah, it's really fast, but it had to accelerate. Now I want to show you guys some animal changes. Let's pick those eggs up and see what will happen. I will spawn a dolphin now. Beautiful, cute dolphin. A few more. But now there are baby dolphins. So to get baby dolphins, you need to click on the dolphin itself, just like other baby animals are spawned. Example for the drowned. Here, baby drowns. But now you have baby dolphins. It's just a scaled down model, so nothing has really changed. But it's really cute. But if you know from Bedrock Edition, they have baby squids. And now we have 2. Baby squids! Baby squid! Look at those baby squids! From far away, they don't really... Yeah, in a group they are really noticeable that there are babies. But from far away, on their own, they don't really seem that baby-like. Well, they do. Yeah, they do. But of course, also the glow squid is a baby variant now. Cute. Very cute. But maybe you see it already. You see those fish? Salmon? They are also in different sizes now. You have 3 different sizes. You have... I think this one is large. Large again. Oh no, that's normal, medium, and that's large. Medium and small. This is a really big salmon. Jesus Christ. Okay, the hitbox itself is still the same. So I think they need to change that. Because this was, I think, how it was. Or this was always how it was. I think this was always how it was. But see how big it is compared to his hitbox. If I just slap it right in his ass, there's nothing happening. So they need to change that, I think. But what I did not know, have they changed that for cod? Tropical fish? Pufferfish too? Cod? No, cods are still the same size. I think that's because salmon are the only really fish that have different sizes in real world. I don't know. So I think also the tropical fish are just the same size still. So also the pufferfish won't change indeed. That is a little bit of a bummer. But still nice that the salmon now has a big size, a medium size, and a small size. But we're still not done. We have a few more changes. Here in those barrels. At first we have torches. You all know the torch, you all know the soul torch, but the redstone torch, this is not in the redstone experimental features by the way, that's why I call it separate. This redstone torch is now, well, pretty awesome. If you remove the red layer, it just feels like a soul torch, but with a red tint. But look how it is better than it was before. Before it was a redstone torch, or a torch, excuse me, with just a red outline. And now it's more than just that. So that's a pretty cool feature change. Texture change, of course. Also in the inventory is changed. I like that. The other thing that has changed with Suspicious Stew is that all the variants are now found in the crafting book, the recipe book. Now if I search for Suspicious Stew, here they are. And I think if I right click, indeed, you see all the variants. Because if you search for sticks, for example, if I right click, you see the other variants, which just planks and the bamboo. So that's the same for Suspicious Stew. In a previous update, maybe in 1.20, they changed the enchantment glint. And here you see how it's right now. It's subtle, but still noticeable. But for the shield, it wasn't really changed. So now it's the same level as what armor is for enchantment glint. I don't know if you really can see it, but yeah, here you can see it. It's nice, a nice change. And I can hide myself. I don't want to be in front of the camera. The next big change, in my opinion, is the breeze and the range of it. Breeze no longer have a minimum distance required to attack a target. But see how far away I am? sometimes, he still noticed me. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. But a welcome change, maybe. Now something with the maze. I can't really demonstrate it on my own, so let's just do it with the command. Maze smash. Let's just give me a load of damage so I can be killed instantly. What? That's a bug, I think, because I see two... No, I see one dead message. That was really weird. You see here, well, a name was smashed by another name. I think that's because you do it with a command. But it's really interesting. That's now smashed by instead of slain by, I think it was. And now something with a wolf. Let's tame it. It's nice to see the old version again. Now he can eat a lot of new food. Well, new for him. It's new. For example, all the fish, the raw fish or the cooked fish. And also the rabbit stew. But now I can demonstrate it because I need another dog. So let's just tame another one and give him rabbit stew. So now you can give him a, well, wooden ball as well. He eats the whole ball. I think we need to address it to Mojang that they give you the ball back. And the other change has to do with the smithing templates. First they always showed the name smithing template and in the description their name, but now not anymore. And you see a lot of new colors, and we are coming back to that later. But now you have Sentry armor trim, that's golden, the Vex armor trim, that's blue, Wild armor trim, and this one, the Coast, is still not the good right name. Then you have to change it. Dune, so you see all the names right here. Also something changed with the loom and banner patterns. And it's a really welcome change. Let's give myself a banner and just a die. Yeah, the same die as the banner, good one. Plop them right in, and now you see, well, the same patterns as always, but two are missing. And it's this one, the field masoned banner pattern. And that's the bricks pattern we always could see without a banner pattern. But Bedrock Edition has one, so they made the change that Java also has this one as a banner pattern. And there's another one called bordered indented banner pattern, but you see, of course, other stuff. And that's the icons on the banner patterns. Also the texture as a whole has changed a little, so you can see what is what. Flow from last update, snout, skull, creeper, flower, and the thing. And this is the one I meant. This one was always also right here, but it was removed because of parity with Bedrock. One of the last changes has to do with bees. Their pathfinding has finally been tweaked. If you had a bee, and you had, for example, here a beehive, you would wander off to a nearest flower, but sometimes you would get lost or just do this all the time. That's not really what we wanted, and they have changed it. So a bee won't wander that far off from their home beehive. They would look for a new one if they are lost. And yeah, a lot of new things have changed. To note them all, I will be here forever, but the notable ones I have mentioned right here. Another change in the options is here with video settings, right under the FPS. The reduce FPS when AFK limits frame rate to 30 when the game is not getting any player input for more than a minute. Further limits it to 10 after 9 more minutes. So after 10 full minutes, your frame rate will be 10. But one of the last notable changes I will mention here. If I forget some that are important, I will mention always them in the next snapshot video. I always did in the past, if I forget something notable. So now you know. It has to do with the rarity of items. For example, the golden apple was always yellow? I can't remember, but the golden apple now is just white. Just because you can make it with an apple and gold that's found anywhere in the world. Now a sniffer egg is yellow because you can't really find it anywhere in the world. You need to dig it up. The trident is even rarer. This is called common, by the way, white. The yellow is uncommon and this is rare. The trident is found in some hard places. For example, a drowned can drop it by 2% or even lower. And it can be dropped by a vault in the trial chambers. I luckily got four tridents from a vault, and the last one is epic, and that's magenta. It's for the elytra, the dragon head, and another item. But let's just look at the side for all of them. Here they are, common. The end crystal moved to the white text, so you know which one I mean, as did the golden apple. So this one was, I think, epic before, so it was magenta. No, it was light blue, and this one was yellow. I don't know. But now uncommon are sniffer eggs, chainmail armor, the recovery compass, disc fragment for disc 5, nautilus shells, echo shards, all goat horns, all pottery shirts, the ominous bottles, the ominous banner, netherite upgrade template, and all the trims listed right here. But the ones that aren't, I will list down further into the list. The following music discs are here. I think almost all of them, except for some, so I will mention them also. In rare, or otherwise known as light blue, the enchanted golden apple. Enchanted golden apples have become more common in recent years due to being accessible in both Asian cities and trial chambers, warranting a demotion to rare instead of epic. I get why they did that. Also the trident. We recently increased trident's rarity up to epic from common, but after re-evaluating we felt that it was easier to obtain than other items in the epic category, such as heavy core. That one was the one I missed. Also nether star is here, the ward armor trim, so the one found in Asian cities, the eye armor trim found in End cities, the Vex one in the Woodland Mansion, Spire in the Tyrrell Ruins, the one that's found the hardest, I think, Wither Skeleton Skull, and the Skull Charge banner pattern. Now that the Wither Skeleton Skulls are rare, these banner patterns should be rare as well. That's the same with the Ting banner pattern, because the enchanted golden apple is. And the following music discs are Big Step, found in bastions, Other Side, found in strongholds and in dungeon chests, and Creator, found in the ominous vault, I think. And now for the last 3 items for epic, or otherwise called for the magenta color, elytra, the dragon head, and the silence armor trim. Have you missed an item in this list? Yeah, I miss an item here in the list, and that's the dragon egg. Why it's not epic? Because if you don't duplicate it, there's just 1 dragon egg per world. So why is it not epic or even legendary, so orange for example? Yeah, that would be fitting. But this was the snapshot video for today, a pretty long one, so if I miss things, expect them in the next snapshot video, I will mention them. It was really nice to do this in English, and it was really not uncomfortable. Sometimes I pronounce words not right, or I just can't talk anymore, but I hope you still understand it and enjoy them much more now you can understand everything. You will see me soon with another snapshot video if there is one coming next week, and the survival videos will come, I think, at the beginning of the next month, because I still have to make 2 more in Dutch and the recap for you all to enjoy the beginning of the series, because I won't restart. I will continue the running series right now because the world is just a beautiful place in my heart. I don't want to abandon the current world, so I will give you guys a beautiful recap. This was it for now, and I will see you guys soon in another video. And now I will say, as always, bye.